spokesperson of the Congress, Abu Sharma. But I want to begin this broadcast by asking the leader of the JDU, Mayank Sinha. Sir, चल क्या रहा है बिहार में? क्या मोदी जी के लिए, क्या भाजपा के लिए नीतीश कुमार के मन में फिर भाव उमड़ रहा है?
नहीं, ऑल इज वेल। देखिए, जो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की सराहना की है, वो सराहना योग्य है, क्योंकि जो गुदड़ी के लाल कहे जाते थे जननायक कर्पूरी ठाकुर जी, और उन्होंने जो सम्मान देने का काम किया है, ये उन्होंने जो काम करने का काम किया था कर्पूरी ठाकुर जी ने, जो पिछड़ों की दलित की आवाज बन के उभरे थे और उनकी लड़ाई को लड़ने का काम किया था, तो हमारे नेता तो शुरू से मांग करते आ रहे थे कि जो कर्पूरी ठाकुर जी को भारत रत्न देने की, तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भारत रत्न देकर एक बहुत बड़ा सराहनीय काम किया है, जो पिछले कोई सरकार नहीं कर पाई, तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने किया है। तो इसके लिए तो हमने जो उनका प्रशंसा किया है, तो कोई गलत तो है नहीं।
अगर गलत तो कुछ भी नहीं है सर, आप कह रहे हैं ऑल इज वेल। हम बस पूछ रहे हैं ऑल इज वेल विथ हुम? जेडीयू आरजेडी के बीच में, या ऑल इज वेल होने वाला है जेडीयू और भाजपा के बीच में?
नहीं, हमारा देखिए, इस प्रशंसा को किसी अन्य वे में मत लीजिए। ये प्रशंसा एक सराहनीय काम के लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को, माननीय हमारे नेता, माननीय लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने दिया है। तो ये एक बहुत ही सकारात्मक राजनीति का एक परिभाषा है कि कोई व्यक्ति अगर अच्छा काम करता है तो उसको प्रशंसा करने में दिक्कत क्या है। और हमारे
प्रशंसा करने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है सर, लेकिन जिस तरीके के कमेंट्स आ रहे हैं, कल भी हमने सुना परिवारवाद पर टीका टिप्पणी हो रही थी नीतीश कुमार जी से, उनका रुख किस तरफ था ये तो कोई भी गेस कर सकता है।
देखिए जो जननायक कर्पूरी ठाकुर की 100वीं वर्षगांठ पर, जन्म उत्सव पर जो हमारे नेता ने जो किया है, जो परिवारवाद पर जो बोला है कि इस पर किसी व्यक्ति को इस पर आपत्ति नहीं होनी चाहिए। और हमारे नेता तो वंशवाद को बढ़ावा नहीं दिया, परिवारवाद को बढ़ावा नहीं दिया। और कर्पूरी ठाकुर जी ने तो खुद ही, जब उनके बेटे रामनाथ ठाकुर जी को एमएलए का टिकट दिया गया था, तो उन्होंने विरोध किया था कि हम लोग डायनेस्टी सक्सेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स के खिलाफ हैं। और ये हमारे नेता शुरू से डायनेस्टी पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ सक्सेशन के खिलाफ हैं, जो कर्पूरी ठाकुर जी करते थे।
तो हमारे नेता उसको अनुसरण कर रहे हैं। Kumar is doing or saying is what the JDU says. But Tuhin Sinha, if Nitish Kumar does decide to join and come back into the NDA fold, is the BJP open to that?
Well, good evening, Poonam. Good evening, everybody. First of all, the Indie alliance is an optical illusion. You know, they had to collapse sooner than later, and this is something which I have been saying for the last 3 months. Now, as far as Nitish ji is concerned, he has to make his stand clear. You know, politicians like Sharad Pawar ji and Nitish Kumar ji always have a guessing game going on around them. So, till such time he makes his stand clear, I think it would be premature for me to comment on it. But I think the larger point remains that the Congress today has zero credibility and is probably going to win the lowest seats ever. So every regional partner today has become very skeptical of even being remotely seen with the Congress party, and it's a pan-India phenomena. Whether you go to Bengal, where TMC wants to, run away from the Congress party, whether it is Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab, whether it is Shiv Sena, Uddhav Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, all of these parties are aware of the outcome of the Lok Sabha elections. They know that the Congress has zero credibility today. And, it's been 6 months today. The Indie Alliance was formed way back in June last year. If till today, they don't have a basic, clarity on seat sharing arrangements, if they don't have a basic clarity on who would be the convener, what they have been indulging is essentially time pass politics, and this country does not have time for time pass politics anymore. So I think the regional parties today, will try to consolidate their position at the expense of the Congress party. But whichever way, BJP is headed towards a record win, an unprecedented win in India's history.
And Anand Ranganathan, while we see these allies within the India bloc squabbling, many say that the BJP is 24/7, 365 days a year in election campaigning mode. It has officially begun with the Prime Minister kicking off that rally today from Bulandshahr. So does the BJP now have at least first movers advantage?
Good evening, Poonam, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, very briefly, I'd like to make 3 points here. Number one, let's be very honest here. India said Rahul Gandhi not too long ago, is not a nation but a union of states. So the alliance is indeed not for the nation but a union of corrupt, immoral, sectarian, communal states. And this is not me saying it, Poonam, but rather the Congress itself. Let me explain. Congress wants to save the life of democracy in India by teaming up with Mamata Banerjee, who it blames for the death of democracy in Bengal. Congress wants to rid corruption in India by teaming up with Pinarayi Vijayan, who it blames for 100 crore camera scam in Kerala. Congress wants to purge sectarianism in India by teaming up with Bhagwant Mann, who it blames for appeasing Khalistanis in Punjab. Congress wants to rid terror appeasement in India by teaming up with Stalin, who it blames for felicitating Rajiv Gandhi's killer in Tamil Nadu. Congress wants to remove sleaze from India by teaming up with Nitish Kumar, who it blames for perpetrating the massive Srijan scam in Bihar. Congress wants to eradicate Mafia Raj from India by teaming up with Akhilesh, who it blames for Mafia Raj in UP. Congress wants to eradicate communalism from India by teaming up with Indian Union Muslim League, who it blames for riots and evil deeds. Congress wants to end separatism in India by teaming up with Mehbooba Mufti, who it blames for betraying people in Kashmir. Congress wants to eradicate horse trading in India by teaming up with Soren, who it blames for horse trading and arrest of its MLAs in Jharkhand. And finally, Congress wants to imprint Savarkar as a coward, treacherous assassin on the collective memory of India by teaming up with Uddhav Thackeray, who wants to honor Savarkar with Bharat Ratna. Congress wants to eradicate misgovernance in India by teaming up with Kejriwal, who it blames for massive misgovernance in Delhi. How on earth, Poonam, can one be so hypocritical in their quest for power? That's right. On Earth, you can't. But probably on Jupiter, you can. If India is a union of states, then by Congress's own logic, it doesn't mind India being a union of corrupt governments ruling it too. This is very important. How do voters, Poonam, make a call in any election? Of course, one may say that it is based on caste, religion, ethnicity, or personality of the candidate. Sure. The truth is there, but a rational voter would always go by performance. And for that, there are indicators, aren't there? Look at Tripura, very briefly. In 9 years, BJP vote share increased from 1% to 40%. Why? Because tap water connections increased from 3% to 56% households. Because Ayushman Bharat increased from 1% to 60% families. Modi, Poonam, is delivering on his promises. Rahul is going back on his promises, like promising the 3 farm reforms and CAA and then probably taking a U-turn. Please understand, 2014 win was a different kettle of fish for Modi because he was the contender, not the incumbent. 2019 was therefore his real test and he fared even better. Finally, 3. People forget that Modi won 2019 by beating anti-incumbency, and he didn't do it with empty rhetoric. He did it through the success of his flagship schemes, Ujjwala, toilet construction, electrification, Jan Dhan. Let me just give you the data, just 20 seconds. Right now, 100 million Ujjwala connections, 120 million toilets, 260 million Ayushman health cards are benefiting Indians thanks to Modi. Close to 100 million Indians are currently living in houses built by Modi. 250 million Indians have been pulled out of multidimensional poverty in the last 9 years. And I haven't even come to what Gadkari has achieved. So if you want to beat Modi, be like Modi.
Modi is Modi's competition. That is what the Prime Minister had said not too long ago. And it looks like that.